Thanos may have died in the MCU, but if he is anything like his Marvel Comics counterpart, he just might come back to life. The villain's first appearance was in Iron Man number 55, published in October 1972. Since his debut, he has been depicted as a dangerous and unique being in the main timeline. He is an Eternal with deviant genes born on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. Thanos grew to be known as the Mad Titan. His origins are connected to a major division in the Eternal Society caused by his father, as shown in Eternals. Thanos Rises number 1, September 2021. After a few retcons, it has been established that Eternals are created by the Celestials to help keep the Earth working. Because they are synthetic, they usually can't have children. Thanos' father, an Eternal called Alars, wanted to challenge that biological law and reproduce. For that, he was banned from the Eternal Society on Earth and exiled to Titan. There, Alars met Suisan, one of the other few Eternals exiled on the Saturn moon. Alars had 2 children, Thanos and Eros. While Eros was an exemplary son, Thanos showed dark tendencies. Because of the deviant genes he was born with, Thanos had mutations from birth. Ironically, his parents gave him a name that refers to Thanatos, the Greek personification of death. Thanos would soon begin to develop an obsession with Mistress Death, and she became his best friend and love interest in Thanos Rising number 2, May 2013. Thanos became addicted to killing. His 18th victim was his own mother, who Thanos killed in hopes of better understanding his own nature. In his misguided mind, somewhere inside his mother's body, he would find an answer as to why he has deviant genes. He hoped he could study her to cure whatever made him a monster, as he describes himself as a teen. After murdering Suisan, Thanos fled Titan in Thanos Rising number 3, June 2013. Lost in the cosmos on his own, Thanos became an easy target for manipulation. The demon Mephisto approached him and first made Thanos consider the Avengers his enemies, as shown in Avengers, Volume 8, number 38, November 2020. These are not the Avengers you are probably thinking about. We are talking about the prehistoric Avengers, who protected the Earth around 1 million years before the Common Era. Thanos would also eventually be recruited by Doom Supreme of Earth, 22215, the leader of the multiversal version of the supervillain team, Masters of Evil, as shown in Avengers, number 50, December 2021. Thanos traveled in time and through dimensions with that Doctor Doom variant and the Masters of Evil to destroy all possible incarnations of the Avengers, eventually realizing that Mephisto had only been using them as pawns in his own personal schemes. Thanos went back to his timeline. He also temporarily went back to Titan. Thanos tried living a normal life, without violence. He grew to become an apathetic man who could never feel true love, sadness, or any strong emotions. Later, he joined a cosmic pirate crew and left the Saturn moon again in Thanos Rising number 3. He had babies with many different partners during his travels to other planets and moons, but never cared to raise his children. Thanos eventually came into conflict with the captain of his pirate crew when he refused to kill for him. In a sudden burst of violence, Thanos killed the captain instead. After that, Thanos took control of his ship and crew. At that moment, he decided to embrace his violent tendencies. He began to use his skills to survive on Titan, set on staying on his home moon. Back on Titan, he was reunited with his old best friend from childhood, the mysterious girl. He tried to court her, and she demanded that he proved his love for her with violence. He went on a journey around the cosmos to find and kill all of the children he had during his time as a pirate, only to prove his love for this now mysterious woman. Around this time, Thanos began using his extensive scientific knowledge to experiment on himself and enhance his own strength, becoming a much bigger threat. The woman Thanos loved declared he would have to become a supreme destroyer of godlike power for her to love him back. He accepted the challenge. Thanos would soon realize that he was in fact the only person who could see this woman. At this moment, she revealed his true nature. She has always been the physical manifestation of death. Embarking on a complex relationship with Mistress Death, Thanos became more and more obsessed with what he considered the positive effects of murder. He decided to end the lives of absolutely everyone on Titan, leaving only his father alive, but not out of mercy. He wanted the Mentor alive to see that Thanos was not insane, that he would build a better cosmos with death by his side, as shown in Thanos Rising, Chapter 4-5. July and August 2013. Since then, Thanos has been roaming the cosmos, looking for other opportunities to put his twisted vision of progress in action. He has used artifacts like the Cosmic Cube and the Infinity Gauntlet to continue to appease death. In consequence, he has caused several wars and often comes into conflict with superheroes. Thanos is one of the most powerful characters in the main Marvel universe. His long-term use of the Infinity Stones made him particularly connected to them, which forever enhanced some of his powers. As a former holder of all 6 gems and an unofficial temporary member of the Infinity Watch, Thanos developed a strong psychic link to other characters also linked to the Infinity Stones. Thanos can sense, contact, and track anyone who also has a connection to them. Due to his above-average intelligence and extensive training of his psychic abilities, Thanos possesses multi-dimensional awareness far beyond normal. Regardless of the Infinity Stones, he can detect disturbances across time, space, and alternate realities. He can spot subtle energy oscillations, like changes in resurrected beings and power shifts in the cosmos. Thanos is a unique cosmic anomaly. He is the only known Eternal to have deviant genes, although it is suspected that there are others who share his condition. Whether due to his Eternal origins or exposure to outer powers, he discovered himself immune to many metaphysical limits the Eternals face. His existence, in fact, defies cosmic rules. Thanos operates beyond natural laws, making him practically unkillable and able to achieve what seems impossible. Since birth, his fate has been to defy reality. His healing power works fast, though major damage like organ loss can limit recovery. Still, he has survived and regenerated after extreme situations. Death has eventually banned Thanos from her realm in the Thanos Imperative No. 4, September 2010. The result is that he can be killed, but will always return to life soon after. His immense strength goes beyond any human's scale. He can easily fight other aliens or cosmic beings, from Thor to Galactus. He holds enough power to destroy entire planets and hold his own against god-tier enemies. Despite his size, Thanos moves with the agility, reflexes, and speed of a prime Eternal. His body and skin are nearly invulnerable. He can take blows from the strongest materials, like adamantium claws or the Godslayer blade, and remain unharmed. Thanks to his eternal physiology, he can also absorb superhuman levels of cosmic energy. He can generate powerful energy shields and many forms of energy attacks. He can manipulate and bend his blows to strike multiple targets or hit from blind spots, regardless of the initial target. Beyond energy, Thanos can also manipulate matter. His telekinesis is extremely strong, so he can move matter and energy with his mind easily. Thanos can also enhance the powers of other characters, completely mastering transmutation of energy and matter. Thanos is a powerful telepath, resistant to mind attacks and able to control minds. Thanos can fly, and he also has the power of teleportation. He possesses knowledge of magic, once cursing Deadpool with immortality so he couldn't steal Mistress Death from him in Deadpool, Volume 3, number 64, March 2002. And in more recent stories, Thanos is becoming more and more powerful. He has further augmented his powers through science, magic, and as a result of the many resurrections by death. This made him a universal-level threat once labeled a reality ender. The God Quarry enhancement is perhaps the most important he has been through. After being weakened by disease and stripped of his powers by his Phoenix-empowered son, Thanos entered the God Quarry. Surviving its trial, he was reborn as a true god, powerful enough to fight Phoenix hosts, and even imprison Death herself. He requires no food, water, or rest, sustained entirely by cosmic energy. But Thanos' most dangerous weapon just may be his evil mind. He is a master strategist and scientific genius who has mastered virtually every field of advanced science and created technology that can't be made on Earth. In comparison, Thanos once stated that Bruce Banner's intellect is impressive only by human standards, but he uses his intelligence to increase his own power and achieve universal destruction, which makes him extremely dangerous. He adapts incredibly quickly in battle and doesn't necessarily rely on his vast powers. Thanos is a highly skilled hand-to-hand fighter, trained in Titan's arts of war and sharpened by millions of years of battle experience. He is a formidable swordsman, once defeating the Silver Surfer who used Mjolnir in battle. And as if all that we have mentioned so far is not enough, Thanos possesses extensive knowledge of mystical lore and history from across the universe. Thanos has died and came back to life in countless instances, including being sucked into an artificial black hole. He eventually became a Prime Eternal, but never managed to be fully integrated into the Eternal Society. With such a dark origin and so much power, Thanos is a fascinating supervillain to read. He has gained much more depth through the newer stories about his origins. But what makes Thanos the way he is? This question has been asked and partially answered a few times in Marvel Comics, often associated with a hero's attempt at ending Thanos once and for all. Let's take a look into one of his lesser-known stories and see what it reveals. The Cosmic Ghost Rider once decided to go back in time and visit Titan to kill Thanos while he was still only a baby in Cosmic Ghost Rider number 1 through 3, 2018. That is Frank Castle, who is usually the Punisher in the main timeline, but as a variant from Earth TRN 666. With the goal of saving the cosmos from all the suffering Thanos would one day cause, the Cosmic Ghost Rider tried using the Penance Stare on Thanos. In case you don't know, that's the unique Ghost Rider ability to make people internally suffer the harm they have or will cause others through their sins. But the Penance Stare did not work on Thanos. So the Rider decided to take the baby with him and change the future in a different way. The Rider tried to convince Galactus to help him raise the baby, but the Cosmic being not only refused, but also wanted to end his life right there. So this variant of Frank Castle then vowed to raise the baby on his own, creating an alternate timeline where Thanos grew to become a dictator. The close contact with Thanos eventually corrupted the Cosmic Ghost Rider, who would do extreme things like killing the Guardians of the Galaxy to protect the baby. Frank would eventually meet the future variant of the Thanos he saved. And that Thanos wore the Punisher clothes. Thanos took Frank and his own past self to see his future, and the Rider was shocked to realize that he had no positive impact whatsoever on Thanos. Frank then killed the future Thanos and returned his child self to the past, erasing the alternate timeline. That's when Death appeared. She told Frank that his actions had forever instilled the baby Thanos with the bloodlust that would make him her ally in Cosmic Ghost Rider number 5, November 2018. Even though the timeline created by the Rider's actions had been naturally erased, the effect of experiencing such a timeline, even temporarily, is in part what sealed Thanos' fate. But there is one timeline where Thanos is a hero and not a villain. However, this doesn't necessarily mean there could be some good in Thanos despite all the devastating effects of his actions in most timelines. On the universe Earth, 25,271, also known as Earth Zeta, everything is its opposite. There, Titan is a thriving civilization and still the home of Thanos. This variant uses the title Thanos the Just, earned after eras of peacekeeping around the galaxy. While Thanos is the main source of justice on Earth Zeta, heroes like Carol Danvers, Natasha Romanoff, or Peter Quill are pirates, criminals, and villains. In the MCU, however, there are absolutely no signs of redemption for Thanos. The live-action adaptation of his origins and evolution only focus on the most villainous aspects, which makes sense, since that also dominates his character in Marvel Comics. But there are several key differences. In the MCU, Titan is an exoplanet rather than a Saturn moon, for example. Thanos decided to address the overpopulation problem on Titan by randomly killing half of the people on the planet. He was seen as a madman, but the collapse of Titan that he predicted indeed happened. This is what led him down the path of fixing what he perceived as an overpopulation problem in the entire universe, resulting in the snap. The MCU version of Thanos doesn't have some of the most defining traits of his comics counterpart, especially the obsession with Mistress Death. In the MCU, actions like the snap are completely rooted in personal convictions. This Thanos embodies more the dictator from the timeline created by the Cosmic Ghost Rider in the comics than the original variant of the main universe. The Thanos from that temporary timeline in comics also became a genocidal madman for personal convictions that justified his violent behavior rather than Death's influence on him. Some fans argue that Death should have been introduced into the franchise along with Thanos during the Infinity Saga, instead of only appearing in the 2024 Disney Plus limited series Agatha All Along. However, considering the many instances when Thanos was resurrected by Death herself in Marvel Comics, it would be fun to see the same happening in the MCU. Now that Death is in the MCU, that seems possible. Would you like to see Thanos resurrect, or do you think he should stay in the past of the MCU? Let's discuss Thanos in the comments below, and remember to subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching CBR.